Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouses. I'm your host, Keith Weishaupt. Thanks for joining us. We are always so very glad to welcome in our favorite dietitian, April Sins with Rouses. Hi, April. How are you?
Hi, Keith. I'm doing great today. How are you?
Doing very well. I am enjoying this fall time, but I know we're going to look for reasons to say yes instead of saying no. I
Yeah.
love that idea today.
Isn't that so fun? So
Yes.
we're talking about November, but we're going to call it Yes Vember because, we just want to have some fun. And I have some great tips for y'all just coming around the holidays and just some ways that we can kind of amp up our nutrition and still keep those holiday traditions still in line with all the fun.
Good.
So the first little tip that I have for you is let's look at our portion sizes. So a lot of times, on a normal day, we might have three or four choices of things to put on our plate, but at Thanksgiving, we might have a dozen or more potluck dishes. And so, there's always like some family famous dishes, what I call them, because, Aunt so and so always brings this, and I always make that, and everybody has their traditions. So we want to keep all that in line, but let's look at the portion size. And one thing we can start with is a plate size. So looking at plate size can help us just even on a regular day. It can help us stay in line with our wellness goals. Because if you put more food on a smaller plate instead of more food or less food on a bigger plate, a lot of times you eat with your eyes first. So using a smaller plate can help with the portion sizes because when that plate is full, it gives us a visual cue on, that's enough food on that plate. Another thing too is, do y'all ever do this? Use a cooking spoon to serve food. This is a really big portion, right? And so using a smaller spoon to serve that food can actually be a good visual cue as well. And that way we don't have overloaded portion sizes. Plus, you might have some leftovers left over if you use a smaller serving spoon as well.
So
So,
using that smaller spoon and the smaller plate instead of the platter and the
yeah,
cooking spoon makes a difference. I love it.
absolutely. It makes a big difference. Another thing we can do is I'm going to call it indulge in mindfulness. Okay, so being more mindful about what we're eating, enjoying our bites of food, enjoying the taste of flavors, chew it well, and just slow down, have some conversation, and really enjoying those meals and really thinking about the labor of love that went into making that meal as well. So many fall flavors can invoke nostalgia and help us to stop and relax and think about maybe something growing up, that we can relate to whenever we had that food or a comfort food as well. So that's something else too to think about. And then from sweet to savory, you can always level up a dish with a plant. So maybe it's taking some extra bell peppers and adding that to one of your favorite dishes. I know I like rice dressing around Thanksgiving time, adding some extra peppers to it, really adding some extra vegetables. Thinking about the dessert table, you can always, fruit salad is still a great dessert. So a lot of us grew up with fruit salad, but sometimes we might forget about it. So just I'm gonna show you a quick one. Is some mandarin oranges out of the can. I
Hmm.
have the Rouse's mandarin oranges drained,
Mm,
and then I have some sliced kiwi.
mm.
Okay, this is gonna be so colorful. And then I also have some dried cranberries. And all you do, Keith, is you just mix it together and you have the most beautiful fruit salad and it looks like fall in a dish.
It does.
And
Those are fall flavors that are all so
yeah,
delicious.
yeah. And then another thing too, Keith, is you can take it. Let's say you're gonna have this really nice dessert pie. You can level it up by adding some puree blueberries to it. So I
Ooh.
literally heated the blueberries in a pot and then like kind of mashed them up. And adding the blueberries is gonna add a really nice flavor, but also give you some extra fruit, really great to have with that as well. And then what about on the dessert table, some chocolate covered strawberries where you're having the fruit, you're putting it, mixing it with a little bit of chocolate, but you're still including those plants in there. And it's not, you're getting something sweet, but you're also going to be getting in a nice fruit as well. So just a lot of different options, to keep in the fun and the traditions in the holidays, but also balancing it out with some good flavors from the fruit and the vegetables as well.
Well, and look, you make that fruit salad look so easy. I mean, it took a whole 6 seconds to put together. But think about that. Those are things you can go and get right there at Rouse's, very easy. And I got to tell
Yeah.
you, kiwi to me, for whatever reason, kiwi is just it's got such a great balance of flavors and those seeds that when you eat them, you can
Mhm.
kind of feel that when you eat them, and it's got such a great texture, and
Yeah.
just such a smooth flavor, and especially a very ripe kiwi just tastes so
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah,
You dump
absolutely.
that in a bowl. It's easy, you know?
Right. You just put it in a bowl. And what I love is the combination of I have the fresh kiwi that I sliced. This is 3 kiwis that I put in here sliced. And then I made it super simple by just grabbing the mandarins in the can. They're canned in light syrup. I drained it and then putting the 2 cans of the mandarins in there and then throwing in a couple of dried cranberries. If you like pomegranate seeds, that adds a nice, beautiful red color as well in this too, and just really gives a great holiday flavor and look and feel to the dish.
I love it. And it's an awesome way for us to be more mindful about how we approach these holiday meals, and a way to be able to say yes to November and take the no out and make some good choices. April, we appreciate it as always. Happy holidays
Yes,
to you.
thank you. Thank you so much,
All
Keith.
right.
Great to see you.
Very good. All right. And that will do it for this particular edition of Eat Right with Rouse's. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming here on HTV.